Okay, ladies, gentlemen, anomalies. I think it's done. It's very close anyway. Should sit on a high chair here. Anyway, so this well, yeah, anomaly, I guess. It's a bit strange. I was really tempted to break this down and put more detail in it to make it appear weaker. Decided against it. Instead, I decided to carve into the top of the trunk a little bit and add this dead branch coming off, because that suggests that there was an event at some point that destroyed the top of the tree. Okay, broke off. I think that's entirely possible, and I think it's well within the realm of plausibility. Happens all the time. Didn't want to leave, half of the tree trunk laying anywhere down here, because I thought, the more I put down here, it now becomes cluttered. There's enough content within this area that it doesn't require anything else. I think anything else would indeed harm the view. Yeah, this trunk's painted in now. Haven't done any massive changes over here, with the exception of that. I did lay in, I took a little bit of cobalt blue, burnt sienna, yellow ochre, and a hint of white, and suggested a shoreline that comes forward. It's quite a bit forward of these distant hills, and of course that pushes the hills back a little bit, and that also added more interest in here. I felt there was a bit of a hole here, a visual hole. I think that's fixed now. I think that works. I laid in some almost straight white, but I tinted it with a hint of raw umber, just to lay on these rocks. Just give them a little more sparkle. The roof on here as well. There were a couple of smears on it that just bothered me very slightly. So I think the roof is improved. Also adding a higher value with a few strokes, more white. This yellow, I went over a few spots of the yellow with an even cleaner, brighter yellow to, again, increase the strength of our focal point. The grass here, I touched it with yellow ochre and a hint of ultramarine blue and white, just allowing the sun just here to catch the tops. I think that helps to do this. Really helps to frame in our area. I had a dark spot here, I removed it. It's been kind of small things all over the place. Adding a branch, adding these little pokey things on the edge of a trunk where a branch once was and now has broken off. So we'll say that's it for now. It's coming upstairs. If I feel the need to do more, I will, but it won't be much. Let me just take the camera, let me just zoom in a little bit so that you can see the usual trick here. Sorry for the jittering and the clicking, but I'm an amateur with a camera. So we'll go to that first. Okay, you see how the top of that trunk looks a little destroyed. It looks like it's maybe not dead, but on its way to dying. And those trunks don't have really what maybe a little indirect sunlight on them, but not much. No sparkle really. And then going down to our distant shore there, we get a little closer and a little closer and a little closer with these trees, and there we have a suggestion of some evergreens down on the shoreline, which works well because those vertical lines help to mimic the vertical lines of these tree trunks in the foreground, and takes away a bit of the, as I mentioned sometimes, goalpost effect of this tree up and down and this tree up and down, or these trees up and down, with a focal area sort of right in the center. I wanted to break that up a little. So those vertical lines, I think, help. So slightly, so subtly, but they all help. I decided to leave the door and the windows of the cabin, the door and the windows of the cabin, missing. You can basically look into it. It's abandoned. But, you know, a hint of purple. A hint of ultramarine blue and alizarin crimson in there. This branch, I extended it right down, hanging in front of that distant rocky ledge. This spot was very dark. I lightened it. It was a little bit out of tune with the rock around it. And, as I mentioned, a little bit of sparkle on that foreground grass. Not too much, because I don't want to compete with the focal area. But the focal area, the yellow is cad yellow deep with white. This is just yellow ochre. So earth tones really, you know, yellow ochre is an earth tone, and the cad yellow, well, by definition, is cadmium based. So it's much stronger, much higher in chroma. So there we have it. There we have it in all its glory. Anyway, I'm happy with that one. I think I'm going to go back to, I'm going to revisit, I just did a series of smaller panels. I think I still have 5 or 6 of them at home that I'd like to just touch. So next I'm probably just going to play with those. I may or may not show them on camera. None of them need very much, but they all need a little bit of something. Anyway, hope you've had a good weekend. We'll talk to you soon.